Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, December 6th. We have all you need to know about the recent COVID spike in Center County, as well as details on a fatal crash in downtown State College.
We also have more on Penn State's decision for next semester's COVID guidelines, along with entertainment, sports, and weather.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Hannah Markovich.
And I'm Carly Knowlton.
Mount Nittany Medical Center is expected to see extraordinary measures continue amid the COVID-19 surge. According to Mount Nittany officials, the medical center's emergency department began accepting ambulances again on Friday morning after diverting emergency patients on days prior. Dr. Upendra Thakur, the hospital's chief medical officer, warned in a statement on Friday that he and other Mount Nittany officials have been sounding for months due to increasing COVID transmission levels, leading to more hospitalizations. For now, all elective surgeries requiring an overnight inpatient stay at Mount Nittany may be postponed. Officials are continuing to urge community members to get vaccinated, social distance, avoid large gatherings, wear a mask in public indoor spaces, and wash their hands frequently.
Penn State announced that the university will be extending its indoor mask mandate into the spring 2022 semester. The mandate requires all individuals, regardless of vaccination status, must wear face masks inside all campus buildings. This includes classrooms, dining halls, and indoor sports venues, as well as on public transportation. In their statement released Friday, the university stated that, quote, university officials will continue to monitor the evolution of the pandemic and the spread of various coronavirus variants and will adjust Penn State's masking policy when it is safe to do so, end quote.
A Howard man pled guilty on Thursday in connection with a fatal vehicle pedestrian crash last year in downtown Bellefonte. Investigators say 37-year-old Brandon Dietz struck 36-year-old Stephanie Wilson with his 2007 Dodge Ram pickup truck on July 22, 2020. Wilson was crossing West High Street near the intersection of North Allegheny Street. Dietz pled guilty to one misdemeanor count of accident involving death. A felony charge was dropped as part of the plea. Dietz was not under the influence of alcohol or drugs and was not charged with careless driving. His sentencing is scheduled for February 1st and plans to seek a sentence of 90 days to 1 year in jail.
State College announced Friday the upcoming downtown road closure of New Alley between Burroughs Road and Crescent Alley. The Alexander Building Construction Company will occupy the road for crane setup and lifting between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. starting Monday, December 6th through Friday, December 10th. The borough has advised motorists and pedestrians to use caution when traveling near the area throughout the week and stated that anyone with questions should contact Alexander Building Construction. As we've entered the holiday season, many students are celebrating on campus. Field reporter Tim Rogers walks you through how students are celebrating Hanukkah at Penn State.
With Hanukkah ending tonight, many Penn State students had to enjoy the holiday without their families for the first time, as last semester, students were home for the holidays due to COVID-19. Zach Lovovitz, a second-year Jewish student at Penn State, said that there was a huge transition period for him as he was not with his family members and didn't feel that holiday spirit being away from him.
I feel more part of it at home, celebrating as a family and going through traditions, seeing more relatives and both sides of the family.
However, Sarah Strent, the president of Chabad, has an answer to those who feel alone for Hanukkah and the other Jewish holidays.
Chabad is basically a Jewish organization on campus, and it's run by Chabad, which is an Orthodox Jewish group, and we basically just have events, we have weekly dinners, we have learning groups, we have all sorts of events for all kinds of Jews, and everyone is always welcome. It's like a home away from home is what I always like to call it. Like I said, it's really a home away from home. It's a place that all Jews are invited to come for dinners, for events, and so as long as you're Jewish, even if you're not Jewish, if you're interested, we welcome everybody. And we put flyers out on our Instagram page, on social media, asking people or encouraging people to come to events, and yeah.
If any of you are Jewish and are continuing to celebrate these Jewish holidays and are looking to join a club to not be alone during these Jewish holidays, please check out PS Jews on their website and on their Instagram page. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For Penn State Network News, I'm Tim Rogers.
Now that December is here, weather has been a little all over the place. Chris Lemo has this week's weather report after the break.
Thanks, Carly. Well, you can see here, tonight's going to be a lot cooler than what we've seen over the last 24 hours. Today we had it really warm, up into the 50s, but we had that cold front with all the rain moved through. Now it's going to be pretty windy and chilly tonight, around 27 and cloudy, winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if we had some gusts up to 20, maybe even 25 overnight. So you're definitely going to hear that as you're going to sleep tonight. Now, looking at tomorrow at your out-the-door forecast, we should stay pretty warm tomorrow, or excuse me, we should stay pretty cold tomorrow. Around 26 in the morning at 9 a.m., you're going to want to layer up walking to class. It's going to feel like a shock compared to what we had this morning going to class. As you get into the noon hours, not a lot warmer. 31 degrees, the clouds start building in a bit more. We're going to see on and off peaks of sun and clouds tomorrow. As you can see, around 3 o'clock for the afternoon evening time frame, some more sun and around 32 degrees as we get back to the freezing mark. But overall, cooler than average tomorrow, and that'll be the theme for the early part of the week. Now, looking at the weekend, you can kind of see that we're going to see a storm cutting up to the west Friday and Saturday. The low pressure will track over around Chicago and Milwaukee. That'll leave us into the warm sector. So we're not going to see any snow out of that. We're going to see a lot of rain and much warmer temperatures, probably back into the 50s at some point during the weekend. That front will move through and it'll be cooler towards the back end of the weekend on Sunday. But overall, kind of a rainy weekend, not great for a lot of outdoor activities. Now, taking a look at the 7-day forecast, you're going to see it's a lot cooler early in the week. In the 30s, 31 tomorrow, 33 on Wednesday. You can see the little snow icon. I don't think we're going to pick up too much in the way of accumulation, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But we're going to see some good mood flakes, so maybe crank up that Christmas music as you get ready for the holiday break here. Now, Thursday into Friday, slightly warmer, and then you can see for the weekend, a lot warmer. 55 on Saturday as we get into the warm sector of that storm. Rain into Saturday, overnight Saturday, and into Sunday morning. And then we start to cool things down once again as we head into finals week here at Penn State. But overall, not a bad weekend to just stay inside, maybe watch some sports. And speaking of sports, coming up next, Brooke Stake has the latest on all stories Penn State sports.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Brooke Stake with your sports update. Penn State football announced its designated bowl game on Sunday. The Nittany Lions are headed to the Outback Bowl, held at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. The team will face the Arkansas Razorbacks on New Year's Day, kicking off at noon on ESPN2. This will be the first ever meeting between the two programs, and this is the fourth time Penn State is heading to the Outback Bowl, with the last time being in 2010. The trip marks Penn State's 51st all-time bowl appearance. Penn State men's hockey hosted Michigan State for a two-game series at Pagula Ice Arena this past week. The Nittany Lions defeated the Spartans 4-2 on Friday, with goals from Christian Sarlo, Ryan Kerwin, Tyler Gratton, and Connor McEachran. Heading into Saturday, the team fell in a close game 4-3 during their annual Teddy Bear Toss. Penn State will be back in action this weekend on the road for another Big Ten matchup as they face Wisconsin in a two-game series in Madison. Puck drop is at 8 p.m. on Friday and 7 p.m. on Saturday. Major League Baseball started its lockout last Wednesday in what was the first lockout of the league since 1994. During the lockout, no free agents can sign to MLB rosters and no trades can be made. And no players can take part in team activities. Players are also not allowed to use team facilities, meaning they have to train privately during the off-season. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred and the MLB Players Association will now try to work together to reach an agreement. There is no timetable for when the two sides will reach a deal. That's all for sports. After the break, Jimmy Atkinson will bring you the latest in the world of entertainment.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jimmy Atkinson with your entertainment update. Penn State Center Stage opened their latest production on Friday, performing Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream at the Pavilion Theater on campus. The Bard's classic rom-com is being presented in an open stage style, as director Sam Ashraf aims to take an experimental approach and bring the audience closer to the action. The show runs nightly at 7:30 p.m. until December 9th, and tickets can be purchased for $25 or $12.50 for students. The Hub Robeson Center, Alumni Hall, hosted rapper Young Gravy on Thursday in a free concert presented by the Student Programming Association, also known as SPA. It was a packed house for the up-and-coming artist, and he clearly had fun with it, tossing Lunchables and Lucky Charms into the crowd. The Wisconsin grad said he holds a lot of love for PSU, saying that not only do Penn Staters, quote, throw good hands, but also that we, quote, get lit on Thursdays, end quote. Field reporter Olivia Dunn stopped by the Hub to check out the event. Take a look.
I'm Olivia Dunn with Penn State Network News, and we're outside Alumni Hall tonight where rapper Young Gravy is set to perform courtesy of the Student Programming Association. Tonight we're going to speak with a member of SPA to get an insider look on what went into planning the event and how SPA works to bring these amazing events to Penn State students.
This concert has been months in the making, between emailing between our team and Young Gravy's team, brainstorming for artists, and then of course everyone here has lots of experience, but like days of setup, preparation, training, whatever it may be.
The hard work and planning that went into this event was well worth it, as the concert sold out quickly and had long standby lines starting hours before showtime. Hunter explained further what went into bringing the rapper to Penn State and how SPA decided on this particular performer.
Typically, we have three meetings over the course of 3 weeks, and we brainstorm artists, we brainstorm genres, we narrow down those artists, and then ultimately we rank our choices. And it just so happens that Young Gravy was who everyone in SPA wanted to see, and apparently all of Penn State wanted to see.
The Student Programming Association is responsible for bringing speakers, performers, and other entertainment to students here on campus. And for Hunter, it's something he's more than happy to spend over 15 hours a week on.
It's where I met all of my friends here at school, and it's just what I love doing at the end of the day.
As for the students attending, they were more than happy to wait hours just to get a good place to see Young Gravy. We went around and asked for their favorite songs before the show.
Gosh, there's so many I like. Yeah. My favorite is Magic and Gravy Train.
I really liked Mr. Clean. Oops, probably. The concert tonight is just one of the many events that SPA hosts. Students can learn about and get tickets for future events by following SPA on Instagram at PSU SPA. Here at the Hub, I'm Olivia Dunn for Penn State Network News.
Justin Bieber hit the stage in Jeddah on Sunday, despite widespread campaigning against the superstar's appearance in Saudi Arabia. Calls for Bieber to cancel the event included ads from the Human Rights Foundation and an open letter from widowed fiancée Hatice Cengiz, whose husband Jamal Khashoggi was murdered by the bin Salman regime in 2018. Bieber's performance there coincides with Formula One racing's Grand Prix, which has similarly met backlash for its association with Saudi Arabia. That's all for your entertainment update. After the break, we have the latest stories from across the nation.
Now over to our interview anchor, JC Calavita, with the Executive Director of Penn State SPA.
Good evening, everyone. I'm JC Calavita. Last Thursday, Penn State students had the opportunity to attend a Young Gravy concert in Alumni Hall at the Hub, absolutely free of charge, all courtesy of the Student Programming Association, or SPA for short. This organization sponsors free events like concerts, lectures with celebrities here on campus all the time. Today, I have the Executive Director, Grace Pye, to give us a little insight on SPA. How are you today, Grace?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you've made your mark here at Penn State?
So my name is Grace, and I'm a senior studying advertising with a minor in recreation park and tourism management. And so I've been involved with SPA since my first week of freshman year. So it's something that means a lot to me. It's been really awesome being part of this organization where we get to put on events that are programmed by students for students, and just kind of give students a way to get involved on campus outside of classes or their dorms and all of that, but just a chance for everybody to come together with common interests and celebrate really cool events that we put on.
So how has your role changed within the organization over the last 4 years?
So when I first got involved, I was just a member of the concerts committee. I soon after got involved with our hospitality committee, which kind of takes care of providing any food or any other requests that an artist needs when they come to campus. And so I started getting involved with all of the committees a little bit more. And during my sophomore year, I was the concerts chair for SPA. So I was in charge of putting on all the concerts. Then last year, over the pandemic, I was the director of events for SPA. So I kind of helped push everything forward in a time where it was kind of confusing for us to figure out how to program for students with all of the policies and everything put in place during the pandemic. So I oversaw all of our programming chairs and the events that they put on. And then this year as executive director, I have a little bit more of an overarching role where I look not only at what we're doing with programming, but also what we're doing more operationally. So things like marketing and the logistics that go behind the scenes of events, as well as our membership, all of those types of things. I just kind of oversee all of that, make sure everything is running smoothly. And also I'm just trying to situate us in a place to move into the future better than ever.
You mentioned a few committees that you could join as a member of SPA. Can you give us a little insight on those committees that you can join and just a few of those responsibilities?
Yeah, definitely. So SPA, you mentioned the Young Gravy concert. So the SPA has a concerts committee, which puts on concerts such as those on campus on a large scale level. We also have our noontime committee, which puts on free weekly concerts that are more of a coffee house style show in the hub. And those happen on a weekly basis through our noontime committee. We have our lectures committee, which puts on lectures. So we bring in lots of distinguished speakers from all different walks of life to come and share their experiences. We have our adventures committee, which puts on educationally based events that don't really fall under any of the other committees. Then we also have our special events committee that is our last programming committee, which also puts on novelty events, comedians, things like that. And then students can also get involved in our more operationally centered committees, such as membership, which is regarding all of our general members and how they're getting involved in the group. We have a logistics committee, which helps with like really putting together physically the shows and line control and all of those things. We have our marketing committee, which helps put together all of the marketing materials for the events and also for the organization as a whole. And then we also have our application-based hospitality committee, which I mentioned before helps take care of any requests that ACTs have when they come in.
So my first experience with SPA was the conversation with Pete Davidson. So I'm thinking that everybody wants to know, how are you getting these big names to come talk to Penn State kids?
Well, I guess first I'll just talk really quickly about like our money and where that comes from. So all of our funding comes from student fee dollars. So every student pays about, I think like $27, maybe it's more than that, but $27 is what's allocated, I think, towards student activities. And so we get a chunk of that, a couple dollars from every student that funds us fully for the year. And so using that budget, we talk about in our committees, like what we think the student body would be interested in seeing, what we kind of know from our own experiences, from ourselves and talking to our friends about what's popular on campus. So we'll make lists essentially of people who we think would be great to bring to campus. We rank them and then we send them off to middle agents who take care of talking to the artists for us. Essentially, every artist or comedian or anybody has their own agent. So our middle agent acts as a representative of SPA and we'll talk to that agent and secure the contracts. And it's really great that we have those relationships through our middle agents because we've been able to get a lot of really awesome people out of it.
I know like Young Gravy was like pretty much the headliner of this semester. What can we expect from SPA in the spring?
We are definitely trying to keep up the momentum that we've been building throughout this semester. Like in addition to the Young Gravy concert, it was really cool at the beginning of this semester. We had our first ever inaugural Lights Up event, welcoming students back to campus. We also have a lecture with Hunter Schaefer tonight, which is really exciting. We had comedian Jimmy O Yang this semester. So I think going into next semester, we're just trying to keep listening to what it is that students want, keep programming at this high level that gets people really excited to come out. I know too, we're planning some collaborations with other campus groups that are a little bit different than anything we've done before, but that we think will reach some people that maybe SPA hasn't reached before. So we're really excited about that as well.
And I saw that you guys also have some giveaways. So what can you say about those?
So sometimes we do ticket giveaways. We just did a Billie Eilish ticket giveaway. I know that we are thinking about doing some promo item giveaways coming up as well. So for people to get involved with those and even just to come to any of our events, what I always recommend is to follow us on Instagram at PSU Spa. And we always post about any giveaways or anything like that, as well as all of our upcoming events on there so people can keep up to date with what we're doing.
And how can someone get involved with this organization?
So getting involved with SPA is great because it's very low commitment. We don't have any dues to get involved. And you can really come to as many or as few committee meetings as you want. If someone only wants to come to one or they want to come to all of them, either of those is great. So on our Instagram, we have all of our meeting times posted. And so it's really just people can show up and at any time in the semester and get involved and share their thoughts. And that's what we want. The more people in the room, the better.
Thanks so much for joining me here today, Grace. I really appreciate it. For Penn State News, I'm JC Calavita.
After an hours-long manhunt, the Oxford, Michigan school shooting suspect's parents were arrested Saturday. The couple was obtained in an industrial building in Detroit after failing to show up for a Friday arraignment. Jennifer and James Crumbley pled not guilty, but ultimately were charged with involuntary manslaughter during an arraignment Saturday. Their attorneys maintained the statement that the Crumbleys were planning to turn themselves into authorities before apprehended. The 15-year-old suspect, Ethan Crumbley, was accused of killing 4 students at Oxford High School and charged as an adult with 4 counts of first-degree murder and terrorism, among other charges. He remains in isolation, and Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard believes Ethan is unaware of his parents' arrests.
President Biden has announced new actions to protect Americans against the Delta and Omicron COVID-19 variants as we head into the winter months. The Biden administration is confident that the U.S. has the public health tools needed to continue the fight this virus without shutting down schools and businesses. Biden's plan to fight the COVID-19 variants while encouraging economic growth includes encouraging booster shots for all adults and stronger public health protocols for safe international travel. It also includes supplying treatment pills to help prevent hospitalizations and death, protections in workplaces to keep our economy open, and more. Biden's detailed plan, as announced on December 2nd, aims to be proactive in dealing with the variants and emphasizes keeping schools open as well as avoid an economic downturn.
CNN said on Saturday anchor Chris Cuomo has been terminated by the network effective immediately. The announcement came after an outside law firm was retained to review information about how he aided his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, when the then governor was accused of sexual assault. The cozy and improper nature of the relationship was conveyed through text messages obtained by New York Attorney General Letitia James. Cuomo pointed out that he never reported on the sexual harassment scandal or tried to interfere in CNN's coverage. With information in the text and documents pointing to a serious breach of CNN standards, Cuomo was notified of his termination on Saturday.
A blizzard warning has been put into effect for Hawaii's Big Island mountain summits. The warning only applies to Hawaii's 2 tallest peaks, Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. The National Weather Service reported Saturday that at least 12 inches of snow are expected to fall in the region this weekend, along with expected wind gusts of 100 miles per hour. Their prediction center says it's common to see snow above 11,000 feet in Hawaii during this time of year, but warned against travel in the areas, stating that it would be very difficult to see due to expected whiteout conditions. The National Weather Service stated, quote, "Blowing snow will significantly reduce visibility at times, with periods of zero visibility," end quote. The warning will remain in place until at least early Sunday morning. And that's all for tonight on PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.